Hello, I'm Andy Brown. I'm the editor of International Construction Magazine, and I'm joined by Donna Laquidara-Carr, who's the Industry Insights Research Director at Dodge Analytics. Dodge Data and Analytics. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Perfect. Hopefully I didn't budge your name too badly there. So we're talking today about a new report that's come out from Trimble and Dodge Data and Analytics that looks specifically at construction project owners' perspectives on connected construction and the adoption of digital workflow solutions. So all stuff that we're really interested in. Could you summarize for us some of the kind of the most interesting or pertinent information in the report, please, Donna?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. I do want to provide a little background, though, on what the report actually is, because it's part of a large research project that we conducted in partnership with Trimble. And it focuses on, as you said, the use of digital workflows in the U.S. construction industry specifically. But this is just going to be the first in a series of reports that we're going to create from this project. As you said, this report focuses on owners. But in fact, the research also covered the perspective of designers and contractors. So we're going to be following up this report with a smart market report that looks at the overall industry. And then we're also going to do a series of additional briefs that are going to look at the perspectives on this issue from designers, general contractors, and specialty contractors. But to your question, focusing more specifically on the owners, the top findings that we saw is that the owners currently lead the industry in their engagement in these workflows, and that they're helping to drive the use of those workflows actively in the industry through their requirements that they have for the sharing of digital information on their projects. However, we also believe that the data supports the concept that the owners will be driving more adoption of these workflows, specifically because of their own engagement with them. And, because the owners are so interested, the rest of the industry will rise to that occasion. So right now, among the owners, it's internal workflows that they have most widely adopted. But we believe that the experience they're gaining from those internal workflows and the benefits they're seeing from them will help them drive the use of more multi-company workflows in the industry. Another key finding is that over half of the owners who use these workflows report that they get higher quality projects. They also see faster project delivery from their use, that same share, over half. And over a third see a decrease in risk. In addition, we find that over 2/3 of the owners are seeing increased efficiency in their internal processes, and they have better informed decision making. And this last point is really borne out by what I thought was one of the most interesting findings in the studies, which is that the owners who are using these digital workflows for their specific pre-construction and construction and operation activities that they conduct, when they use digital workflows for those activities, they actually have a better understanding of how those processes are impacting their projects. And the degree to which they can potentially be the root causes of delays and errors that they experience. And this, we think, is a critical finding because the construction industry often takes on projects as though every project is a brand new one. So being able to better understand how your processes are impacting your projects, really having that kind of clarity and insight into those processes can really help improve the industry and improve the projects as a whole. So we really thought that that was a particularly interesting insight.
That's great. Thank you so much. So it's really interesting to know that there'll be more kind of reports in the future that I guess we'll be focusing on different areas. I just wonder, in terms of kind of looking at the owners, did it surprise you, or was it something that you expected, that the owners would be really driving this as much as they are?
No, I wasn't expecting that at all. On other technology studies we've done, it's typically been designers or contractors who are really the drivers, and it has seen that the owners take the lead in this particular area was really compelling. And it's particularly compelling because we do think this kind of digitization is so important. And the owners are in the best position in the industry to help drive use of tools like this. So, it becomes a competitive advantage for other team members if they can meet the owners where they are, or even help the owners progress further in what is clearly an area that they're interested in. So we think this is going to be particularly important for helping the process of digital transformation in the industry.
Great, thank you. And I just kind of wonder in terms of productivity. I mean, obviously something that construction's often been accused of not being as productive as it could be. Kind of how big a boost could having, a so-called kind of joined up digital workflow be?
Well, that's a tougher question for me to answer because I will confess, you really can't measure productivity gains in an online survey. That's the kind of thing you need an academic survey, people on the ground measuring things specifically. But that said, again, we saw that the top benefit that the owners reported was increased efficiency in their internal processes. And we see them not only engaging quite a bit right now, but really committing to investing in specific workflows and to getting to do more in the future. And that very level of commitment, I think, speaks for itself in terms of what they're seeing.
So there's obviously lots of data available from different companies and kind of different software. How important is it that all this data can kind of talk to each other, and what can be done to try to increase the connectivity of digital workflows?
Oh, that is a great question because it is truly critical that the data can talk to each other. And this is particularly important because there's never going to be a single tool that will suit the needs of owners, designers, and contractors and all the functions that they need to do on a project. So we can never get to the point where we have everybody just in one system. So therefore, what we really need is the applications to be able to talk to each other and to share the kind of data that they need. And it's a real challenge in the industry because people are already deeply invested in the tools that they're using. So, and I thought that actually the report contained a really interesting and well-informed view of this topic in the interview with Chad Foley from the city of Raleigh. Now, he is talking just internally about how he's able to get data from different departments to connect. But he does describe in detail the process he went through to make sure that the different systems within the city can pull at what they need from the data together, and that the ways in which that's really improved the efficiency of his organization. So since the report is available for free download, I strongly encourage you guys, to anyone listening, to download it and check out that interview for a better understanding of exactly what you can do to make sure data talks to each other.
Great, thank you. And I suppose a bit more of a kind of a general question, but I'm kind of always curious as to kind of where different people in construction see the industry being on its kind of tech journey, and is do you think are we kind of still near the start, but accelerating quickly? How would you summarize it?
Yeah, I would say we are still near the start, but we're not at the beginning. I think that there's a clear commitment. I think there's clear engagement, even the engagement as we've already discussed with the owners in the study and with digital workflows. There's clearly a wide recognition of the importance of digital information, the way it can help the industry. We see very little resistance in terms of the industry, in terms of adoption of different technologies. We don't see a lot of skepticism. What we see is almost too much and too many different things for people to consider, and really being able to prioritize is kind of the biggest challenge right now. So we do see, perhaps if you were going to say they're wading into a pool, they're still in the shallow end, but they're above their ankles. So, we see that commitment, and we do see it accelerating. And I really do point to this report in particular, actually, as an example of how it's accelerating, because again, knowing that the owners are committed to digitization will accelerate adoption, and it'll increase the ability of the industry to collaborate effectively and to produce better projects.
That's great. Yes, thank you very much for all that information, Donna. That was really interesting. So we do appreciate your time. Thank you.